So I got this glare on this part of the lens, but like I said, I'll get a better GoPro, so there'll be better vlogging and content creation. And once I get the resonators, because right now my Hellcat's too loud, I will get kicked out of the drag strip for the current exhaust setup I have, because I violate a lot of decibels. So, and it sounds cool. If you want to go full outlaw, if you're really into illegal street racing, this sounds fucking awesome. Like if you want to go to Mexico and race, straight pipe sounds awesome, but the track actually has noise limits, and this Hellcat does not pass them. Like if I go wide open throttle, you're gonna be able to hear me from a mile away. But like I said, I like fast cars, but when you have a nursing license, you'd be trying to avoid trouble, right? So it's kind of like even street racing is that. Honestly, I've done it before, and it's pretty fun, but at the end of the day is me being an RN, it's with a need for speed. There's a reason I try not to take my Hellcat out at past a certain time of night. Me knowing I can't say no to a good race sometimes, I try to stay off the street. It's like I'm really trying to stay out of that kind of trouble. Especially when it's like you got a nursing license to protect. You can't just be going out racing people in a car that can go 200 miles an hour if given enough road. So if you want to race, let's take it to the drag strip where I'm free to race you to the best of my ability. You know what I mean? But I used to be into the whole racing thing, but me as an RN, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. And a car like this, you step on this gas pedal at full throttle, going 87, see, you are going to have your nursing license in jeopardy. I mean, I wasn't even floored, and I'm like, damn, I need to slow down, But yeah, it's a pretty awesome car. I've wanted this for a long time while I was in nursing school. I was always manifesting. It's kind of like the law of attraction, and just one day I finished school, I passed my NCLEX, and I got my first V8, and I worked my way up, and now I'm in a Hellcat. See, these people are going to make trouble, because you got left lane camper, you got a truck in the middle, and now either way, there's no way to safely pass. You're taking a risk on the right. This one's blocked. I don't want to be next to a truck, especially on that blind side. And if I do, we'll punch it. It's kind of like I don't want to be next to that truck longer than I have to. So if I'm going to do this, I want to pass as quickly as possible. See, I use my speed, but I use it defensively. Like I use it as a safety feature. Like I don't want to be in that truck's blind spot. I'm going to use my speed.
Use the right
to stay clear of what is really just a high risk of an accident. So I basically so I use my speed defensively, but it can be taken the wrong way by the police. I mean, really, it's just that case where if you go too slow, you're gonna get crushed by a truck. But yeah, a car like this that goes this fast, you got to have good self-control. But you got to remember, as an RN, if you have a passion for vehicles the same way I do, you really got to restrain yourself. So if you want to race and you want to keep your nursing license,
exit right to
keep it on the track, keep it in a controlled environment. And to be honest, I've gone in an occasional roll race here and there, but I only really do it if it's a really worthy opponent. Like if it's some sweet BMW M4 that lines up to me within a 60 roll and there's no cops, what are you doing, Tesla? Then it's on. But only in a controlled environment. Only if we can do it safely. And, and there's just nobody there, right? So otherwise,
exit right to Hop Yard Road. Door to
let's save it for the drag strip. But yeah, this is the most car guy car. Man, I forgot how fast this thing is. I mean, dailying a Honda Civic SI, which is no slouch. Getting in a Hellcat, it's like, damn, this thing is... you step on the gas pedal barely and it's flying, bro. It's a fucking rocket ship.
In 900 feet. Use the left 2 lanes to turn left.
Anyways,
on
so yeah,
turn
I'll
left
be
on Doherty Road.
talking more about teaching for the BSN program. That'll be my new future endeavor. But yeah, it is nighttime. I am in a Hellcat, and this car attracts way too much heat way too easily. It's kind of like, can I gap that Tesla? Unless it's a plaid, yes. Especially with the drag tires. But only in a straight line, if this is a prep surface,
In 2
but
miles,
I'm not going to be doing that
on
shit
Fall Creek Road.
on these streets where there's too many cops. And that's the thing is, my Hellcat attracts way more heat than a lot of these EV do because I make too much noise. I'm just trying to get home without getting into trouble. And like I said, it's different to have a fast car as, an RN is kind of different because, you're trying to not get in trouble for street racing, because if you get in trouble for street racing, that's going to be a mark against you and your nursing license. So you got to find a way to tame that need for speed and to basically, if you have a fast car, control yourself. But because with great power comes great responsibility. You as an RN, you are responsible for somebody's life, and even in a car that can go 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds and top out at 200, I'm responsible for the people around me. That I have the responsibility of controlling my car and making sure that we all go home. We all go home safe. We're all alive. So it's so you got to have that same sense of responsibility when you drive a high-powered vehicle like this. But yeah, I'll go ahead and log out, and try not to attract heat. Full town.